Chapter 2, The Treatment. Seems a long time ago now. 1 minute you feel fine, apart from going to the toilet more often than you normally do. The next you're being scanned and having an internal examination. In my case, I had advanced prostate cancer, terminal. Nice, eh? You're ready for this, you think. Or so you think. They start. We're going to put you on hormone tablets every day. And at the end of the first week, you'll be prepared for chemo. This takes about an hour. You'll need to take steroids 3 days before the chemo and 3 days after. These are to help with the side effects. But don't worry, not everybody gets side effects. That's a bit wrong. Most do. You also get additional tablets to take if you get sick, have diarrhea, or get headaches. My procedure was over 18 weeks. That's 6 sessions. Every 3 weeks, mine was a Friday, an hour of chemo being pumped into you. Then you go home with your tablets and a phone number to call in case something goes wrong. The 3 weeks go like this. First week, not feeling too good. Middle week, feeling slightly better. Third week, starting to get back to normal, but only ready to repeat it all again. I made up my mind that I was going to continue on as normal as I could. I told nobody at work and continued work throughout the 18 weeks. I'd moved out of London, and as a consultant, I was only in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3-day week, which was great. As I said, I had the chemo on Friday. Generally felt okay. Saturday and Sunday, I tried to keep as normal as possible. I'd normally rest on Monday, having a sleep in the afternoon. Get up, have some dinner, then get ready for my train at 10:03 into London. Sleep on the train, arrive Tuesday morning, shower at the station, change your clothes, breakfast, then off to the office. I was generally first in. I managed that for 18 weeks. I was lucky with the side effects, as I managed them quite well. I was losing my hair, but it was short anyway. So I decided to have it cut even shorter and put on a bit of weight, but I just laughed that off. The worst was the hot flushes. Had to make excuses up for those. Lucky they only lasted a few minutes during the day. Difficult to handle. Other things that only you are aware of. 1, you get ulcers in your mouth. These are mainly in the first week of the 3. You lose all your sense of taste for food and drink and forget sleeping through the night. You're waking up to go to the toilet, or it's a hot flush, and it's still happening 7 years on. Not so bad, but still. I'll tell you more about that in detail in another chapter. You seem to naturally put on weight. That'll be the hormone injections. For me, that was about 5 to 6 kilos in extra weight. Even though I was going to the gym most days, I was eating healthily, or I thought so. And I was counting the calories. In some ways, following the help books that they give you. Again, I have a strong view on those. Although I got my hair back, not much else changed for the next 5 years. My PSA had dropped from the original reading of 36.5, and I felt pretty fit and healthy in myself. But I kept feeling something wasn't right. Even with a low calorie intake, the weight wouldn't shift, and the hot flashes, well, they were ever present. It was towards the end of the 5 years that I started researching everything: cancer, diet, healthy foods, myths about various foods, what was good for you and what wasn't. There's loads out there, and a lot of which is just junk, a bit like the food that we eat. During this time, I came across a Zoë Harcombe. Watch her podcast and read her books. They're really good. It changed my whole thought on what we put into our body and the way of the food, and the logical way in which she explained the myths just made absolute sense. The only question it leaves you with is, why is it not being shouted from the rooftop? Cynically, but perhaps it's something to do with money. As they say, follow the money. I'm in my 5th year. I'm told my cholesterol is dangerously high, along with my insulin. So now I'm at risk of diabetes too. They want me to start a course of statins and tablets to reduce the cholesterol and insulin. Don't forget, I'm still taking the hormone injections every 3 months. Although I didn't know it at the time, my testosterone had dropped to 0. The 5 years of injections had achieved the medical term of being chemically castrated. Sounds like something you'd do to a cat. Sorry, cat lovers. I was not made aware of this, can you believe, until August 2024. So it had no influence on my decision. I asked a couple of questions about coming off the injections, but the argument to remain was it was needed to reduce the testosterone, and that's what feeds the cancer. So you need to be on it for life or until it no longer works. On the 3rd time of asking, I was not going to be persuaded. I was stopping the treatment. They did confirm that my side effects was due to the hormones, although there was still no mention of the testosterone. But they could prescribe me some drugs to help with the side effects. No. My head was screaming, I want my life back. I want my body back. I also was starting to have doubts about everything I'd ever been told. I stopped my last injection in March 2022. I've taken nothing from mainstream since. It's now June 2025. So my story, is this the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning?